What is up, guys? Kay here, and welcome to episode 3 of the Suarez Bite, this series where I take my 90 rated man of the match, Luis Suarez, and upgrade the team around him, and hopefully by the end of the series, we win the Division 1 title. As you can see, here's what we left the team at last episode, which, by the way, make sure to check it out. It will be in the description down below. So let's start off with the highlights of our first match in Division 9, and let's see how we did. Our first opponent was Real Shit FC. As you can see, he had a starter pack team. He had a couple of goal players. He had some good players and good chemistry, but it wasn't really a tough match. Saying that, he was a really tough opponent, and our first chance came in the 20th minute where we intercept the ball from the free kick, pass it off to Suarez, who passes it off to Munir, and then Munir goes for an over top through ball to Suarez, who takes it on the volley, hits the crossbar, and then falls back to the goalkeeper. That was basically the only chance of the half. As you can see from the halftime stats that are gonna come up, that I had 2 shots, one on target, and my opponent had 2 shots and none on target. I know I always skip the halftime stats for you guys, but I'll make sure as I move forward, I'm gonna try and remember not to go over it too fast. The first chance of the second half came in the 55th minute where we passed the ball off to Suarez. Suarez passes it off to Munir. Munir cuts back inside and then passes a through ball to Suarez, who takes a first time shot. And what do you know? We hit the crossbar yet again. The ball falls off to Festerson, my left wing, but his header is way off target. The guy's first shot on target came in the 63rd minute where he takes an amazing long shot with, I think, a bronze player, and it just passes over Barbosa, scoring him his first undeserved goal in this match. Luckily for us, though, that lead didn't last long as he gets a free kick in the 64th minute. And he goes for a cheeky over the top through ball, but his player completely misses the ball, and the ball falls to Suarez, who goes on a run. And as we all know, when Suarez goes for a run, no one is going to catch him. Takes a shot across the goalkeeper, scoring us the equalizer, but most importantly, giving us our first upgrade from this game. There was still one more chance left in this game. As you can see, in the 87th minute, we intercept the ball, pass it off to Festerson, who passes an amazing backheel to Suarez, who scoop turns around the defender and takes a shot, scoring his second goal of this game and giving us our second upgrade from this game, and most probably our first 3 points in Division 9. But that wasn't it for the game. As you can see here, we intercept the ball and pass it off to Suarez, who passed it off to our center mid, I think, and then we pass it off to Zuccolini. Zuccolini with an over top through ball to Suarez. Suarez takes the shot, scoring his hat trick from this game and giving us 3 important upgrades from this game. That was basically it for the game. As you can see, a hat trick from the main man, Luis Suarez. He gets a 9.3 rating and the man of the match. And now let's see where does that put us in the table. And here we are, we have our first 3 points in Division 9. So now let's see the 3 upgrades that I decided to go for from the Suarez hat trick. So for the 3 upgrades, I decided to go with Hernandez, and I decided to change the position. The center defensive mid that was bronze, upgraded him to Hernandez, but then I decided to change the position between Hernandez and Zuccolini because Zuccolini had the better defensive stats. And now let's move on to the second game of Division 9. So as you can see, my second opponent's team name, Action SC, he had a Menike and a Day up front, which I wasn't really too worried about, but to be honest, because we still had the better team. So now let's move on to the highlights of the second game. So as you can see, it took me till the 45th minute to score the first goal, cross it over to Suarez, goes for a header, hits the post, and then goes back to him, and then he scores it in the back to give us the first goal of this match just right before halftime. So here are the halftime stats. As you can see, we had 9 shots, 3 on target. My opponent had 2 shots and 2 on target. It was a really boring first half. So now let's see what happened in the second half. So he tried to start off with the kickoff glitch, kickoff run, whatever you like to call it, with MNEK, but we intercept the ball, pass it off to Suarez, who goes for an amazing skill run from his own half, passes the first defender, fake shots across the second, dribbles across the third, and then takes an absolute worldly of a shot, too strong for the goalkeeper to save, scoring his second goal and giving us our second upgrade from this game. So we had one last chance in the 50th minute before the guy decided to rage quit. We passed the ball off to Suarez from Zuccolini. Suarez fake shots and then cuts back inside, takes a shot with his weak foot, scoring his third goal and giving us our third upgrade from this game. And then the guy decided to pause and he decided to rage quit. So as you guys can see from the full time stats, we were completely dominating. We had 11 shots and 5 on target to his 2 shots from the first half. And as you can see, we get the 3 points to give us 6 points from a possible 6 in this division. A really good start to the division, and hopefully we can continue in this form. But guys, since the guy rage quit so early, I'm bringing you another game this episode. But before we do so, let's check out the 3 upgrades I decided to make because of the Suarez hat-trick in that game. I decided to use all the 3 upgrades to change from Jimenez, my silver center back, to Sergio Ramos. Because moving from a silver to silver rare, that's 1, and then from a silver rare to a gold non-rare, that's 2, and then from a non-rare gold to a rare gold, that's 3. And now let's move on to the 3rd game this episode and see how we do. So we move on to our final game this episode, and we come up against Quebec Nordique. He had the full gold team, but there was nothing to worry about because firstly his chemistry wasn't that good, and he used the 3 at the back formation, which for me this year, 3 at the back formations are the easiest to break down. So our first chance came in the 7th minute where we intercept the ball from his striker, pass it off to Suarez, who tries to pass the last defender in front of him, but the ball falls to Hernandez. Hernandez passes it off to Suarez, and then Suarez passes it off to Mate. Mate over the top it to Suarez, and Suarez takes it on the volley, scoring it in the bottom corner, giving us 1 upgrade from this game. Unfortunately, our lead didn't last that long, as he gets a throw in the 13th minute, and then he passes it off to Muller. Muller crosses it to Berbatov, and Berbatov scores an amazing header to get him back in the game and to make it 1-1 in the 14th minute. So as you guys can see, our second chance didn't take long to come through. As Suarez picks up the ball, goes for a run, trying to get past the last few defenders, gets lucky with the ball falling back to his feet, and then goes for a shot, but the goalkeeper saves it. And then the ball falls back off to Mate, who gets dropped in the penalty box by Paul Pogba. And by the way, guys, how the hell is that not a red card? I will never know. And who else to put on a penalty other than Luis Suarez, who takes this one calmly, puts it in the bottom left, scoring his 2nd goal of the game, putting us back into the lead, and most importantly, giving us another upgrade to add to the team at the end of this match. Now this was a tough game until the 29th minute where Paul Pogba decides to get his 2nd yellow card, and that meant that my opponent was now playing with 10 players, and unfortunately for my opponent, he didn't just lose Paul Pogba, but we also scored from the free kick with Luis Suarez, completing his hat-trick and giving us yet another upgrade for the team after this match. And he didn't stop there, because in the 45th minute, we get a corner, pass it, play it offshore, and then we cross it into Luis Suarez, who scores a beautiful header, giving us the 4th upgrade and scoring Suarez's 4th goal in this game. And that was basically it for the first half. As you can see, we had 9 shots and 8 on target to my opponent's 4 shots and 3 on target. We were completely all over this guy. So our first chance in the second half came in the 65th minute where we passed the ball off to Suarez, and then Suarez passes it off to Festerson, passes it again to Suarez, and then Suarez roulettes to get past the last 2 defenders, and then continues his run, and then takes a shot, scoring in the bottom corner, scoring his 5th goal, and giving us 5 upgrades from this game alone. But my opponent was not done there. As you can see, he picks up the ball here, but Carvajal intercepts the ball, and he mispasses the back heel to give it back to his player, and then Berbatov lets it go through his legs to the right hand side player, scoring his 2nd goal. But that really didn't matter because for me the game was over by then, and I didn't really care if the guy scored another goal or not, because as you can see here, we pick up the ball in the 90th minute, pass it off to Festerson, who passes an amazing over the top through ball to Suarez, making him 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and Suarez is never gonna miss from there, finesses it around the goalkeeper, completing his super hat-trick and giving us 6 upgrades from this game alone. That's an incredible amount of upgrades for the next episode. And as you can see from the full-time stats, we had 14 shots and 11 on target to my opponent's 9 to 7. And as you can see, 3 more points in Division 9. What a start to the division. And now let's move on to the 6 upgrades that I decided to make from that game. So as you can see, I finally got rid of my left-wing bronze player Festerson and used 5 of the 6 upgrades to go up to Neymar, who I think will really fit well in this team, and he will also add a bit of flair and skill to the attack force. And the final upgrade I used on my left back and changed him to Ruiz, who doesn't look that good, but hopefully we can upgrade him in the next episodes. So now let's see Suarez's stats. As you can see, 7 games played, 27 goals. The guy is an absolute machine. That will be it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, I appreciate a like. If you get 10 likes, I'll post the next episode as soon as possible. And I hope you guys have a nice day. This is KAA signing out.